Well, Monday, the 13th of June, and we celebrate International Albinism Awareness Day, just shedding light and getting to understand the gains we have made in appreciating these people that are part and parcel of society. And for the longest of time, we've had troubles in terms of the question of stigma, in terms of the question of accepting them as, part and parcel of society in a good way, without having to look at them, with, different eyes. And so as we get to this conversation, we must admit and agree that really, indeed, we have made strides in making the world a better place for them. So as we get to this conversation, I would want to introduce the lady and the gentleman that will be joining us for the very same, as we get to understand the theme and, most importantly, what is set for the day as we celebrate this moment. And we're empowering people or persons living with disability. Also, that is a question that we'll be bringing on board, because for the longest of time we have had sessions with leaders, sessions with representatives in terms of making sure that they speak of how their grievances and their problems will be addressed. A long story, a long move, a long, fight that really we've not received, or we've not gotten, that win, but the course is still on. So in studio is Willie Blessing, who is a musician, seated next to me. I know I should have started by introducing the lady, but because you're seated next to me, you get the advantage of the same. Right next to Willie is Anthony Minor, MCA aspirant, Githurai 44. And lastly, now the lady who loves last best is Charlene Tunai. Charlene, thank you so much for creating time to be with us this morning.
Thank you.
Yes, karibuni sana.
Yes.
And so, as it is, they say, yours is as straight as a musician. So we understand what it is that Willie does, and we also understand Mheshimiwa here. In terms, this is the first time that you're going for this bid.
Yeah,
the very, very first time.
Yeah.
How has it been like?
It's good. It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
All right, amazing. And we'll get the experiences on these journeys that they've taken bit by bit as we continue. Beauty world, you said?
Yes.
In the world of beauty.
World, yeah.
How is it, and for how long have you been doing this?
Well, seriously, if I say for how long, it will be since I was a child.
Yeah,
but seriously, it's since 2018 when I decided to begin a business, rather a company, Magenta Dynasty, dealing with artwork, crochet work, and now I'm getting into fabrics, that is real, actual clothing. And also jewelry, mostly beading. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, and we'll be looking at that as we continue. Maybe sometime we'll be hosting you based on that, just to get to understand what then Magenta is doing at large. But most importantly, what is the significance of this day to you?
Actually, the main significance of this day is to create an awareness concerning the albinism. Since today being an International Albinism Day, we are using our way of capacities, so that at least we can educate people. So we can educate people that we can do anything that a normal person can do.
And we speak of the questions of disability. Most of the times you find that they would want to place you in this capacity. Is it really right? Is it really proper? Should we get off from this thinking that albinism has got something to do with disability? Because you say, you do everything and anything just like any other person would do that, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, we can disqualify albinism as one of disability because we can't work down the sun, so we are disabled there.
Right.
We can't go to Shamba the whole day. So those are the challenges that we face, and we can't see far.
Okay.
We can't see far, and that's permanent. That's permanent disability.
Right.
So we cannot disqualify ourselves from being in the scope of people with disability. Because we are limited in a certain way.
Okay.
But apart from that, we know our limits. We know that if you stay a long time in the sun, your skin will be scorched. So you just identify yourself, you know your limit, you know where you can work better. Like here in studios, if you employ many people with disability, with albinism, they work perfect.
Right.
Maybe much better than you.
Well, much better than me. I do not know. But yes, you have a point right there. And so, Charlene, what does this day mean to you?
Well, this is a day, I wouldn't say a day like any other day,
Right.
but it's mostly a special day since you're given a day in a year to celebrate persons with albinism. It's more about awareness, bringing out the best of you, self-love, self-care, self-awareness, self-growth. So a day of reflection, a day of sharing our beauty with the world. It's more of a colorful day for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's speak about this awareness that we're talking about, because when, you know, most of the times people speak of awareness, then we ask ourselves, what exactly are we trying to get the world there knowing? And I like the fact that you narrow it down to, first of all, you people. The fact that, you know, once a child is born into this world, you know, with albinism, I mean, what are some of these things that they need to be aware of? Mheshimiwa, you speak hugely of the fact that, yeah, you need to know yourself and your condition and everything. Do you suppose we've made so much strides and gains in terms of making sure that, you know, persons with this albinism are well enlightened, are well, you know, reminded of who they are, and, you know, that does not make them less of human beings?
Yeah, it starts with the parent. So you as a parent, you've got a child with albinism. I just know the limitation that he or she has, and just identify the strength that he or she has. So the parents have a bigger picture of it.
All right.
So that's why we are creating awareness, because anyone can get a child with albinism. So whenever you get a child with albinism, you know, I've got this child, so I should not expose him or she to the sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just what is this awareness that we're talking to, and especially when we are speaking to the rest of the world, because this is not just about you know, persons with albinism. I think it should be for the world at large. Like you say, you are a parent who's pretty much normal, and then this happens, and you probably do not know where to start.
Actually, we are bringing, first I'll just concur with what my brother here, Mheshimiwa, has said. The first person to understand, or to get to understand who is an albino is a parent. Because some years back, I remember when I was born, some years back, there was that myth that we are not accepted in a community, whereby some parents were hiding their kids under the bed,
Right.
because they don't want to be, that we were like a curse in a community. So for us to bring this awareness out, we are trying to at least make some parents understand that we are supposed to be looked out, so that we can be known by other people,
Right.
so that we can be accepted by the community. And also we can do better in a community by helping others.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, some years back, a parent, you'll hear I'll say 60%, 70% of people living with albinism, they don't have their fathers. I'll start with me. I was born in 1997, some years back then, and I do love my mother, Melan Kweyu. When the day she gave birth to me, I was denied by my father. So a parent should, when he gives birth to a kid, a father or a mother should accept that this is my child, I should take care of him or her. So in that perspective, we are creating an awareness so that these parents can accept us in the community. You see, it will find much happier when you being my mother and maybe him being my father accepting me as their son,
Right.
compared to my father
father
leaving
denied,
me with you in a very bad way, whereby you must struggle with me to take care of me. And you find that, like I've said, 60 or 70% or even 90 in Kenya, we don't have our fathers. So we are being taken care by our mothers, our guardians. Yeah. And may her soul rest in peace.
I know. Well, oh, may her soul rest in peace.
Sure.
I agree. All right. So here we are, and we are talking about the theme, United in Making Our Voice Heard.
Yeah.
What is this voice that is being heard out there? And because one would want to think it's just like, go to society, let's stop stigma, let's know that let it be known that we are here, and that's just it. When we say united in making our voices heard, what exactly are we referring to?
Okay, so first I'll begin with just the basic about albinism. Things that people don't understand. Albinism is the lack of melanin, either in the hair, eyes and skin, or just the eyes only. So most of the people, as both my friends have said, most of the people get to discriminate persons with albinism. I understand there is a lot that has been done, which is really good. I actually commend that. I'm so happy for that. A lot of people now know what albinism is. We are not shunned. Corporates are accepting persons with disability, persons with albinism. Everybody else is trying to include persons with albinism in whatever it is they are doing. But still there's that minority percentage that don't understand, rather still stigmatize persons with albinism. And also I'll look at the theme in this way, that our voices being heard, our capabilities being seen, because I wouldn't tell you that all persons with albinism are all teachers. That was also a notion that has been seen. They're not all teachers. We do have a politician here. We do have a musician. I am a designer. I know of a friend who is a lawyer. She just got admitted to the bar. I know of a HR specialist. You know, we are so diverse. It doesn't matter where or how. So whatever it is that you're good at, whatever it is that you want to pursue, you get to do that. And our voices being heard in a way that we can advocate for ourselves. We can speak up for ourselves. We are clear enough to stand somewhere and actually say something that is actually meaningful and creates an impact. Yes, so we stand united for that specific cause, for that cause to be involved, to be involved in the society's activities and being accepted for who we are.
Yeah, okay, amazing. Let's talk about the challenges that are evidently here, like Willie has articulated his. And before we even get to the level of the health challenges that you mentioned earlier on, challenges like, for instance, you want to be member of county assembly. Are there instances where you feel like, well, will the society accept me? And that hugely speaks of, speak of the stigma or the existence of stigma that continues to lie in society. And what do you suppose it will take for us to root it out?
Okay. First of all, let me say, the voice to be, we are standing to be heard. Why? Because we had a narrative that people with disability can only be nominated by parties. We want to avoid that narrative that as people with disability, we can be elected. So we have this voice that we want to pass it in the air, that we want to be elected so that we can have muscle to defend our society, with other people with disability. That's why I choose the hard channel,
yes.
the hard way, so that I can motivate other people with that disability, other people with albinism, that they believe in themselves and they see they can do much better.
Are there instances where you've second-guessed yourself and asked whether, well, would the people accept me as it is? And I mean, are there instances where, again...
You get challenges, like my opponent now, my opponent from the other side, they are fighting me from, they are using stigmas, calling me Chinese, whatever. But I love the women. The women are much better because they say, that China you are calling, we elect that person.
Wow.
I like the women.
There's something about women in this.
Women, I think women.
Yeah, there's something about us.
Mothers, congratulations.
Mothers,
you are
congratulations so much.
Mothers are everywhere.
We do love
mothers
you so
are
much.
everywhere and the best.
You know, mothers fights for us.
And that's why I am so focused, because they motivate me, and that motivation gives me power to do what I can and believe in myself. Because I know as much as I'm limited, I'm just limited kukaa kwa jua. I'm just limited to see from a distance.
And I'm imagining the campaign moments. And now that we are here, and jua 24/7.
You see,
how do you manage that?
How I manage, I have just know your limit.
Right.
So me from 5, I walk. If the sun is not scorchy, I wear long sleeve, I just walk door to door.
Door-to-door campaigns,
that door-to-door campaign. It's very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And we have the ones, the likes of Isaac Maura, who are doing a great job,
Yeah.
you know, in representing, you know, persons with albinism. You speak of, well, mom and mom now not there anymore, and, you know, taking up the challenge and getting into music and, you know, the difficulties that will probably come along with that. What's your support system? What is this one thing that keeps you going amidst all this?
What keeps me going is acceptance. I remember I accepted myself that yes, even if I'm in this state, I can still do my passion of singing and come out as a prominent person, as a public figure.
Right.
I started very minimal, at a minimum pace when I was in secondary, though I was not that accepted. People were asking, we bro, unawezana kweli na usanii man, uko nje, there are big people, will you fight them? Then me, I told those friends that yes, if God has a plan for me, then he will make me through. Then that is when I come up with my brand, Willie Blessing 254.
What genre of music do you sing?
Actually, I do gospel music.
Right.
Yeah. I do urban gospel music.
Right.
Yeah.
Mom was here when you started music?
Yeah, no. She had died when I was in Form 2, so I started singing in Form 3.
Okay.
But with people, so I started singing my own song, Niko Shwari kwa Yesu, when I was in college. Yeah.
All right. So professionally now you are into music 100%.
I'm in music, but also I took statistics. I'm an educated
Oh, you're
person.
a statistician. Well, you are, from the way you speak. That one we have to give it to you.
Yeah.
As well as, you know, everybody else on the panel. And I agree to the fact that, yes, once given that space and appreciated, you go beyond and, you know, you surprise very many people. This point of acceptance is crucial, I realize. But how difficult or what is the journey like? And I know it would be different for different people, but how easy is it to get someone, first of all, to accept themselves, you know, to understand, you know, in this conversation of creating awareness, for them to get now to the next level of life where they make something meaningful out of what they are?
Honestly, I won't lie. It's not easy to get anyone to accept themselves because we all come from different backgrounds and we've lived at different environments to a point that we all met at some point. But then there are those people who, because acceptance is inward, there's those people who take it lightly, there are those people who have a heavy heart. So it's first, mostly to start with forgiveness before even acceptance, because you actually have to let go. I have met people who have gone through really rough pasts, you know, as a child growing up and all that, and it's really traumatizing to the point that you don't even understand you're being traumatized by this anymore. So it becomes a part of life. But getting to forgive all that, and I know forgetting is really hard because it's something that happened to you. You can't tell someone forget it, but getting to forgive all that, let go, and then start accepting yourself as you are, because I understand that we do stay under the sun and we get permanent damages. If it's not a sunburn and sometimes it's a hard skin. I got that, but then I'm actually grateful for my dad, the fact that he actually managed to take care of me. So I know how to apply my sunscreen, I know what to do and how to make my skin lace harder. So it's easier for that. But there are those people who get permanent sun damages, and the society is crucial. It's not crucial, but cruel. The society is really cruel. Someone will see you as you are and call you names by how you look. So they will call you old and yet you're 19 because you have wrinkles due to sunburns. So that, whatever it is that people say, in as much as you're really struggling to let go and accept yourself as you are, you take 10 minutes, everybody has said something bad about you. There's nothing positive. So it's also really hard for that. So sometimes you find, well, sometimes you'll find persons with albinism being together because it's easier that way than being alone outside there, because the society actually does not get to care. And I'm actually grateful for these days, because someone would say something bad and then another person, a stranger, will stop them and say, no, this is a human being. That actually touches my heart.
Well, the strides that we're talking about that we have made. Let's talk about the health challenges. And you speak of sunscreen, and I can imagine it is expensive for many of us to avoid to afford sunscreen out
Yeah.
here. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm told, you know, just make sure that you have your sunscreen because of the lighting in studio and because of the sun. No, I'm traveling to the coast, sunscreen. How much more for you people who have to wear this on a daily basis and like it, you know, in the entire body, Mheshimiwa?
What I can say, let me say, we are so grateful for the government at the moment because it is giving sunscreen free. But we need to voice this thing out that every child with albinism can get this sunscreen because it is not well known to every parent.
Yeah.
So that
Oh, that is that it's available
it's
out there for
available
free.
there.
Okay, in
It's
hospitals
free.
or where exactly?
It is in hospitals,
Okay.
government hospitals.
Okay.
So every child, every parent with a child with albinism, if you are a person with albinism, these things are there in the government hospitals. Just go and you'll be given.
Right.
And apply them. The issue is apply them. And as much as you apply them, avoid sun.
Right.
Yeah,
Avoid.
that's all.
That's true. That makes it
just
even easy
avoid,
for you to manage.
You'll
Okay.
be able to manage
The
it.
eyes. The eyes. You mentioned something to do with the eyes
Yeah.
and you know the visual impairments and the troubles that you would be going through. I still would want to understand at what level does the government come in then to assist persons with albinism? Because reality is that there are people who are lucky to come from, you know, a well-off family, but there are instances where you find that these people are, you know, in the slums and all that, and the difficulties are real out there. Do you suppose that the government is really coming in handy, and especially with the kind of legislation that we have had and the representation that we had at the level of the houses and across?
Yeah, very true. The government has been assisting us, the PWA, with the sunglasses at a bigger length. In addition to that, I want to say big thanks to Dr. Choksi Foundation.
Okay.
She has been standing with us since when we were still kids. Yeah, she has been supporting anyone who is a PWA with sunglasses for free. So you could book a session with her. Then she is always on Wednesday, on Tuesday.
Ah, all
and
right. So
Thursday.
you all know.
Yeah, we all know.
These things
Okay,
I got from her.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Amazing. That's,
All
that's
of
really
this
good. We
is
appreciate it.
from her.
Aha,
So
from her. Yeah.
you could just book a session and they will arrange you. Then you go there. In fact, she's the best. She gives you the sunglasses. And if possible, she can give you the transport back home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Probably the people who are watching and could not be having an idea of the existence of chalks, you said. Where do they get her? Yes.
She's in Aga Khan.
She's in Aga Khan.
In Aga Khan.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay, that's good. So here we are. This the only major, you know, difficulties, health difficulties that you probably are experiencing, Charlene. And as time goes by, apart from these private entities, what more would you wish for from the government, you know, in terms of these questions of awareness and above everything, in terms of making it possible for you to access some of these types of medication that you would require?
Well, mostly what I'll actually get to speak of, because apart from the awareness, apart from the sunscreen, education is really crucial for persons with albinism. I do understand that those who come from not well-off backgrounds and kule mashambani, it's actually hard for them to get to access good education, despite education being free. You understand? So I know there's some entities, NGOs that have picked that up and sponsoring children with albinism, but also just having that available to the tertiary level, I mean to universities. There's some who don't even have access to a smartphone. A friend of mine has been doing a campaign for just getting a smartphone for a child with albinism in universities. So you can imagine someone has joined, maybe they're doing statistics as he is, or maybe they're doing any other course that actually, right now we are moving to a technological world. It's more about the internet. So you don't have that, you can't fit in that. So just something of that, anything to help them move by and move on swiftly. Yeah.
And clearly, the rural areas is probably even worse because
Yeah,
the
really worse.
population is not as high.
Yeah,
you know, in Nairobi it is pretty much okay, and we see many of them, and it's normal. I mean, this awareness, this sensitization, how does it get to penetrate the rural areas so that even if, you know, in a whole village, there's only one person with albinism, this one person will be treated with the kind of respect, you know, in realization of the human rights that they deserve, like any other child in this area? Mheshimiwa.
I think the government need to boost these integration programs,
Yes.
so that each and every institution, each and every school, they will accept people with albinism, people with disability, and put the material needed for those people, so that the society won't see them as different people. The society will accept them, and the voice should be there even at the churches, and the voice should be there even at the market centers, so that every person, in wherever they stay, they will be able to accept person living with albinism, person living with disability. Because even here in Nairobi, parents are suffering. Like, let us as people with albinism get aside. There are these people with autism. That's another side which has not gotten any support. CP people, they have not gotten any support. They are at Githurai. I'm struggling. People with CP, autism, are so many, and I'm trying to look where can I get my help from? Where can I get it from? Because these people, they have seen one of their own. They're reaching to me.
They're reaching out to you.
They're reaching out to me. But sometimes I'm limited. I don't know where to go to. Yeah. So that's why we want to create. Let's create a disability day where each and every person living with disability, let us come all. Let our voice be heard, because the community really needs to be comfortable with a person living with disability.
That's true. That's really true. And I mean, this aspect of discrimination has gone to levels of violence. Where we come, Msanii, you know, sometimes you really want to travel the world, and I've listened to your music, pretty much good music. I hope I'd host you someday on Feel Good Friday. Feel Good Friday, we talk music and art and all that. You know, sometimes you were supposed to travel for a session, and I mean, you've had these stories of Tanzania for the longest of time. Are there instances that you live with fear, that you know, you do not know what would happen, that you really do not feel secured, and that you wish and yearn for that moment where security will be guaranteed?
Yeah, it's very true, because I remember when I was still in school, the one who was paying my school fees was in Tanzania.
Okay.
And I remember I was sent home for school fees.
Okay.
So for me to get to her, it was very tricky, because if I was to go there, there was that norm of I will be sold, like we are medicine, what. So I had to look for another school for it to cover me until the sponsor to come back into Kenya. Okay. So that time there was that fear, because it was trending that we are being sold, but of which it's a myth. Maybe anyone who is watching me, it's a myth. It's not true. So you find that I, as I'm working as a musician, maybe I want to travel outside Kenya. You find that people are telling you, tutakuuza milioni. I'm working with a
outright.
I'm working with a normal person like you, and you hear a friend telling you, we bwana unatembea na mamilioni bwana. So you find that you fear even the person who is telling your friend. So a good friend, maybe he will subject to him and say, no, who si pesa ni binadamu kama sisi. So I will wish if the government can help us with the awareness, whereby in each and every market maybe we can have a banner stating that albinism is just a color, but we are normal. So you find that this will help people to understand that we are nothing more than normal. We are the same. Right. And also for anyone who is watching me, maybe is in the village, there is the National Council of People Living with Disability offices in each and every county. So anyone who is in rural, if he goes into any county in a town, he can register for the NCPWD card. He can be educated. He or she can be given the lotion, all sorts of things. Excuse me. So that we can be in a landline. Right. Yeah. So to the fear thing, yeah, huko nyuma nilikuwa naogopa, lakini sahi, let me just tell you the truth, I don't fear anything.
That's good.
I face someone and I tell you, bro, if you see me and my money, come take me, but he cannot even touch me.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so we stand with confidence that we have made gains.
Yeah.
And what are these other things that you suppose we need to do that will probably make the world a better place for persons with albinism? Charlene.
Mostly, I wouldn't lie. What I believe so much is in speaking up. So if Willie is really confident to tell them, well, if you want, come touch me, you know, there is that self-confidence that he has.
Yeah.
So if each and every one of us, person living with albinism, I'll speak about the adults. For some reason, I'll leave the children aside right now, but each and every one of us who is old enough to actually stand for ourselves and just tell them, no, this is who I am, this is not who I am, and do that in confidence. You know, at least somebody else, there is that respect that you automatically get through from confidence, you know. So somebody else will hear that or learn that, and word spreads so fast. Right. So in as much as it will go as, I know the story might be twisted or not, but it will spread. They will say, oh, I was in the market, this one was done for this and this and this, and they responded as this, you know, and it will spread, and people will get to know that, no, we are not money, we are human beings. Or I've seen someone with albinism campaigning. I went to the office and someone with albinism actually served me, she or he was the teller, or something of that sort. Or maybe I went to the church and the preacher had albinism, and actually instead of focusing on the albinism, they listened to the message, which actually helped them a lot. So more of speaking for yourselves. I will start by that. It's individual. So speaking out for yourselves, in as much as we're advocating for everyone, just be vocal and advocate for yourselves. And for the children, just teach them that confidence at a young age. As I said, I'm actually really grateful for that. It was given to me at a really young age. In as much as I still face the same stigmatization I do, at some point it drives you to tears because you just don't believe. But still, that confidence of standing and telling others, I can do this, I am good at this, and actually proving to them that I can do it is really, really important. So it really helps with the stigmatization.
Okay, well, that's great. Mheshimiwa, you are on that path of liberation, I would say, for everybody that is watching you with albinism today, because they will look at you as the game changer from the level of the county assembly, and with the hope that you take it to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and beyond. What is this one thing that you promise them you seek to pursue and achieve on their behalf?
I, Anthony Maina, I'll stand with people with disability this way. I'll make sure the 3 gender law come to reality. That each and every institution will have to choose one person with disability or 2 persons so that they can be represented there. My sister has said, well, that if that person is there, this awareness thing will be well known. Because your pastor is a person with albinism. Your pastor is a person with disability. So you'll be able to see these people, they can do anything else. Despite the disability they have, they can do other things. They can do whatever that you can do. So that is what I'll fight for them. And I will make sure if there's a certain budget of money needed to be given to people with disability, people with albinism, reach them. Because that is what we are, it has never reached us. We need to fight for that. We need to get that budget and reach to each and every person with disability, with albinism. Like us with Alan, we have a Black Albinism Foundation. That is another way of creating awareness. We play football. Like today we are having a tournament of Tanzania and Kenya. So we want to create this awareness that these people can play even football. The other time we were there in TZ and we managed to win the game. So you see, as Kenyans, as TZ, we are united. We want to unite this thing of albinism so that people can see even in ourselves, we believe in ourselves.
All right. Amazing.
Yeah.
Mr. Director, just 1 minute for Willie here to speak about his music and how we can get to listen to that.
Good morning, Kenya. This is Willie Blessing 254. Yeah, the Tiger, also known as the Tiger. I'm a gospel artist. I'm a gospel minister. We always, we always call ourselves ministers.
Yeah.
So you can find me on YouTube at Willie Blessing 254, on Twitter at Willie Blessing 254. You can also find me on Instagram at Willie Blessing 254. Like all the platform, Willie Blessing 254.
254.
Yeah, come, we rejoice the word of God.
And we're in that spirit of saying, let's support our own local. So please, let's come out and support Willie, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You won't sell you.
I will.
Yeah, please, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Hi, my name is Charlene. I do design, so if you want to find my work, Instagram, Facebook, Magenta Dynasty, MAGENTA, Dynasty DYNASTY, Aziz. So, and my phone number, as you can reach me, it's 0710606044. So just feel free, go to my Instagram page, go to my Facebook page, or reach me out, call me or WhatsApp me by the same number.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Wewe watu wako tutawaambia wakupigie kura, si ndio? Asante sana. People of Githurai, thank you so much. Charlene Tunai, as well as Anthony Maina, MCA aspirant Githurai 44, and lastly, Willie Blessing, who's a musician. I promise that we'll have you some other time. That is on we get to listen to your music. That is on Feel Good Friday, right here on TV47's Morning Cafe.
I will appreciate so much.
Thank you. We have to close this, conversation, but remember, let's all go out and create that awareness. They are part and parcel of us. They are human beings like us, and therefore we should shun from these talks of discrimination, violence, and stigmatization of the persons with albinism. We close this at this very moment, but not in totality. In a bit, we get to speak to you as pertaining to the political situation in the country. Don't you go anywhere. line, I'm told, and I'll loop in Dixon for his very own view. Dixon is calling us from Kisii County. Dixon, good morning.
Good morning. Here in County, I just okay to tuna neno kushukuru Mungu.
Asante sana kwa kuzungumza na TV47 asubuhi hii ya leo. Sijui siasa za Kisii unazionaje kufikia sasa, kabla hatujazungumzia siasa za kitaifa?
Naam, vizuri. Sasa sijui utaniruhusu nizungumzie katika kiwango gani, kwa sababu kama ambavyo najua tunaangania katika viwango tofauti. Tuna kiwango cha ugavana, tuna kiwango cha wawakilishi wa bunge ama wabunge, alafu tuna wawakilishi wa wadi. Sasa labda nikichukua tu nafasi nitazungumzia kuhusu kinyang'anyiro cha ugavana, ambapo kidogo huku Kisii ni kweli kwamba Azimio gavana lazima atatoka Azimio, kwa sababu ya ule msisimko, na mbunge wa Dagoretti ni kama huku ameshika kasi sana, lakini japo wapinzani wake pia wanajaribu kutafuta mbinu za kuweza kushindana naye. Kwa hiyo hapa katika kiwango cha ugavana naona kwamba mbunge wa Dagoretti Bwana Simba Arati kidogo amepiga hatua, lakini huoni mtazamo wangu katika pita zangu. Lakini katika kiwango kingine cha ubunge sasa hapo inategemea.
Dixon, labda nitauliza hili, ukilinganisha swala la ugavana au kinyang'anyiro cha ugavana, na labda uangalie hilo kulingana na siasa za taifa nzima, unaweza ukasema kwamba Raila Odinga bado Kisii ni ngome yake? Maanake watu wamekuwa wakizungumzia kama labda amefifia katika zile ambazo zilionekana kama ngome zake hapo awali. Kwa hiyo tukizungumzia 2017 Kisii ilionekana kama ni ngome ya Raila Odinga. Je, bado anashikilia hilo au kuna utofauti?
Kwa kweli nitasema hivi, unajua huku Kisii ni tofauti sana, kwa sababu unapoangazia kwa kweli si kama jamii zingine ama si kama sehemu zingine ambazo utapata kwamba mgombea anaweza akapata 90%. Kwa nitasema kwamba kwa kweli huku Kisii hatuwezi tukasema kwamba ni ngome ya Raila. Labda atakuwa amemzidi Ruto kwa tonge, lakini huwezi ukasema kwamba ni ngome ya Raila. Na kwa hiyo ni swala kwamba umzidi mwenzako tonge moja, matonge mawili, lakini hauwezi ukasema kwamba ni ngome, kwa sababu unaposema ni ngome inamaanisha kwamba anaweza akapata 80% ambayo na zaidi, ama 70% na zaidi, jambo ambalo ni mushkeli zaidi huku Kisii. Lakini ni kwamba ameongoza Kisii, tunaweza tukasema kwamba ameongoza, lakini labda amemzidi tonge William Ruto, lakini hatuwezi tukasema kwamba ni ngome yake, na mambo yanaweza yakabadilika kutegemea na mawimbi ya kisiasa na namna ambavyo wagombea hao wawili watakavyojipanga. Lakini kwa sasa amemzidi kwa hatua, lakini hatuwezi tukasema kwamba ni ngome yake. Naam.
Kabla sijapokea simu kutoka kwa mtu mwingine, labda kidogo tu ungetuelewesha watu wa Kisii wamejiandaa vipi kuhusiana na kukua katika serikali ijayo? Manake watu wengi wamekuwa wakizungumzia maeneo, kwa hiyo inakuwa ni siasa za maeneo, labda eneo letu tutakuwa na nani ambaye atakuwa anatuwakilisha pale juu. Sijui watu wa Kisii wamejiandaa vipi, na je, kuna watu wa gani ambao unaona ni wakuu sana ya kwamba watakuwa wanazungumza kwa niaba ya jamii ya Wakisii?
Kwanza kabisa utaniruhusu niseme hivi kwamba unapoangazia hii jamii ama hii kaunti ya Kisii na jamii nzima kwa jumla, ni kwamba tayari ngome zote tumewakilishwa katika ngome zote. Kwa mfano unapotizama ngome ya Hasla, Mzakuku mkuu William Ruto ni kwamba pale tumewakilishwa na mbunge wa Mgrango Kusini Bwana Silvanus Osoro, na ukiangazia hii sehemu nyingine pia pale tuna waziri Bwana Fred Matiang'i ambaye kwa kweli amekuwa akifanya kazi. Kwa hiyo ngome zote tumewakilishwa. Na labda kwa wale ambao hawajui siasa za huko Kisii, ni kwamba ni muhali sana. Sijui kama unanipata studioni.
Na kupata vizuri sana Dickson.
Naam, huko Kisii ama sehemu za Kisii ni muhali sana kufuata mgombea, kwamba jamii nzima ikamfuata. Kwa kweli hilo ni jambo gumu, lakini kama ambavyo nilisema ni kwamba kuna yule ambaye atazidi mwingine, lakini kusema kwamba jamii nzima imefuata mwanasiasa fulani inakuwa ni jambo gumu. Hilo jambo lilitendeka kitambo sana wakati ambapo Simon Nyachae alipokuwa akiwa